Jason Hamelton by far was the biggest power hitter that I ever had during my 10 years. Probably go down as maybe one of the best power hitters of all time in St. Joseph's baseball history.
Jason was a big-time player, big-time recruit in California before coming here. I mean, he's a big left-handed power guy.
He had a presence about him on the field. He was a very dominant figure.
He did it from day one. He did it as a freshman. Had some All-American accolades from Mizuno and Baseball America. Was a first-team Atlantic 10 All-Conference player, 91 and 92. Just put up great numbers, was an imposing force on the field, made everyone around him better.
Jason was a guy that was the first non-local guy to really say, I'm going to come to St. Joe's and play baseball.
Before I graduated, my dad and my stepmom moved out to New Jersey. And my stepmom was a secretary, and she recommended I set up a resume. I sent him out, and I got a couple calls, but one of them was Coach Chris Schiavo from St. Joseph's University.
Coaches receive hundreds of letters from prospective student athletes, expressing interest in their school. Most of the time, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But in this case, I had a hunch, and I said, he's definitely worth a phone call. So I told him then that he would be a big fish in a little pond. That he would get an opportunity to play right away. And if he was good enough, he would get an opportunity to play professional baseball. And surprisingly, all that happened and all that came true.
I came from California. I was basically literally dropped off in front of the school. My teammates and coaches were basically my family out there. I was so appreciative that they brought me in and they made me feel comfortable.
It was definitely a leap of faith, but he proved that it was worth the shot and worth the chance.
When he first came to St. Joe's, I thought, what is this guy actually doing here, coming 3,000 miles from California to play at this small school on the East Coast? And he made an immediate impact.
He came in and he was everything as advertised.
He did it all. He hit the ground running, being our number 4 hitter and being a great defender as well.
I think he started off a little bit slow his first 5-6 games, and then came out in a big way with a massive home run, probably 450 or something like that, and just opened everybody's eyes.
From that point on, we knew that Jason was the real deal.
Jason wasn't a very vocal guy, wasn't a rah-rah type of guy.
He would just smile with that look and nod his head, and that meant I'm all in. He always exuded confidence, not cockiness.
We had a nickname for him, and I'm not sure it really made sense, but we called him Hollywood. Not that he was in it for the limelight. He actually was just the opposite of that. He had a kind of quiet demeanor.
He had the potential at any moment to change the game with one swing of the bat.
To him, it was not a big deal, but to everyone else watching, it was awe-inspiring.
Probably the most memorable thing that I can remember is we were playing at Latchall McCarthy Field against Temple. And Jason comes up and hits a walk-off grand slam to win the game.
That was a great game for me. That was one of the highlights of my career at St. Joe's.
What's interesting is I drive by that location 5 times a week, and there's not one time I go by there that I don't think about that home run and the memory and how far he hit the ball.
I heard that he'd been drafted, which I certainly wasn't surprised. He had all the tools to move to that next level.
To play at St. Joe's, to play any college, play high school baseball is a feat. To play beyond that is tremendous.
So come draft day, I'm just sitting next to the phone. I'd been drafted by the Detroit Tigers in the 29th round of the Major League Draft. And I was extremely happy at that moment. And it was at that moment that Coach Chris and St. Joseph's University had helped me achieve a lifelong goal. And I was very appreciative of that.
Jason deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, absolutely. He has a number of records and certainly hit for power.
He's got all these numbers that warrant it, and when you look at a guy like him, he just went out and he played the game. He didn't worry about statistics. Jay did the little things to help a team win.
It was a really good time, probably the most success that I had as a coach was in part because Jason and the people that surrounded him at the time.
I'd like to thank the committee for the nomination into the St. Joseph's Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm extremely honored and humbled, and I thank you. I want to thank my wife Zoe for supporting me all these years and being by my side. I'd like to thank my mom, Cynthia, for taking me to all the Little League games and all the care packages she sent me in college. I'd like to thank my sisters, Jennifer and Danielle, and my brothers, Daryl and Brian and Jeff. And Jeff, thank you for watching out for me growing up. I want to thank my dad and my stepmom, Ted and Margot. And thank you for putting up with all those nights of me out in the garage with my tee and makeshift batting cage. I want to thank my high school coaches and teammates, Coach Kurtz, Coach Chandler, Coach Gabrielson. And I'd like to thank my college coaches, Coach Hertel, Coach Krasalovic, and Coach Loschiavo. Coach Chris, thank you so much for the opportunity that you gave me to play in a Division I university. I'm extremely grateful.